So, as I said, welcome everyone. This is the AIE Guild Town Hall for June 2020. We don't do these all too often, but this is one we wanted to get together because we've got a big event going on this weekend in particular. That's one of the things we want to talk about. What we usually do in these is we talk about each of the game divisions as well. We don't do town halls all too often because we usually spend a lot of time talking to our individual divisions at their mandatory fun nights and our bigger events that we have from time to time. But it's good to get everybody together, get everybody a view across the community. So that's what we're going to try to do a little bit today, and that's all what our weekend this week is all about as well. So the things that we're going to cover just in this town hall will be a little bit of welcome and an overall community news. There's just a couple things I'm going to touch on there. Then we will get to hear from the directors or a delegate of each of our major divisions. We will talk a little bit about some of our Nomads games, and we'll talk a little bit about other games to come. We'll also spend a little bit of time on some events, the big event we have going on this weekend, one more major event this summer, and then some ideas maybe for the fall. And then we'll just talk about a little extra bits, maybe spend some time on some of the changes to Discord in particular. That's just become such an important part of our guild and the things that the way we communicate out. So we'll talk about that. And then we'll be open for questions. So please use that town hall channel. That's your opportunity to jump in there and get a couple questions in if you've got questions about anything. If we don't get to it live in this next hour and 15 minutes or so, then we'll try to catch up with you either DM or answer them in the channel and keep a dialogue going. And keep in mind, those kinds of questions we can certainly be answering anytime. There's the LFO channel, there's general chat, there's a bunch of the community channels where we're always happy to answer anything that anyone might choose to ask. So, what has been going on in AIE? AIE in general, we've been having quite a good year so far. We've had a couple new officers that have joined in 2020 so far. I think first, earlier in the year, we had Lucy join. Lucy's an officer who focuses a lot on Star Wars, but you've probably seen Lucy in ESO and Lord of the Rings and a couple other games. So Lucy's been a big part of the guild for quite a while and is now helping run events and pieces of the guild across those divisions. So we really appreciate Lucy. Also, Fezgig. So most recently, probably the newest to our list of servants to the community is Fezgig. Fezgig is mostly focused on WoW Alliance, but you will also see Fezgig a lot this weekend, and you'll also see the work that Fezgig has done along with Marcus to put this event together. And we'll hear from both of them tonight, both Fezgig on everything going on in WoW Alliance and Marcus on the streaming event that we're in the middle of. Just had a really good kickoff to the streaming event for the last hour and a half with ESO and Dan Kinia's work there. Also, one other sort of bigger guild leadership change, as we looked across the roles and the jobs we needed done, we have a really flat organization. We really think of ourselves as who do we need, where do we need help, just to run things in a couple different divisions. A lot of that is focused around so jobs and work we need done. If you want to think about guild structure, guild hierarchy, you should think of it in terms of an upside down pyramid. So there's all of you, and then there's the people who serve you. So lower down on the totem pole are the officers, and we have that's sort of, we're all officers that are sort of running things. We do have some division leads. We've made a couple changes there. We'll talk about along the way. And then we have a small council, and the council's job is mostly just to provide any questions or guidance or tiebreakers as each of the divisions sort of run themselves. We did make one change to the council. We added Tetsemi. So everybody, so cheers for Tetsemi, who's you'll hear from tonight as well. So Tetsemi is helping us out there on the council. Just everyone knows, there's a post out there when we welcome Tetsemi to the council that explains who else the council is. it's some founders of the guild, and some of them aren't connected as much as when they founded the guild. So they're sort of more emeritus people like Scott Johnson and Veronica Belmont. And then we have some less visible members right now, but still providing guidance to us, like Xanar and Stig and Randy. Although we see Randy quite a bit, and his leadership in WoW is still appreciated. And then we have the people that are sort of running the day-to-day work for the council, and that's Lantheris, Asheo, Hoots, Seema, Tetsemi, and me. So there you go. Just a brief update on that. Now let's get to our divisions. So first up, so this is a little bit of random order. A couple people had to go early or late. We mostly try to do this random. In fact, when we do our monthly officer meetings, we usually roll the dice and try to make them random so nobody feels like they're always last in alphabetical order, for example, like World of Warcraft. So let's start there. World of Warcraft. Why don't we get it kicked off with the Horde side? Horde side.
Horde side. So this is Tetsemi, for those that don't know my voice. Just to let you know, the Horde side is still going strong. We have 11 co-guilds right now. Our current co-guild, if you look in the guild finder in-game, if you need to get somebody in, just look for Alea Iacta Est, either on the Horde or the Alliance side. It's there for both. We'll get to the Alliance side shortly. We have New Braid at 10 p.m. Central every Saturday, and that's 11 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. West Coast for people that live in real time zones, max.
I still have not heard an appropriate.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you kicked it off.
And New Braid attendance has been so popular that they are actually fielding two complete teams now. So they have Kinney leading the main team, and Cyrene leading the other team. So very happy for them. And Fez, do you want to take over for the Alliance?
Sure, you bet. Hi, folks. On the blue side, which we only have one guild, which is Virtus, if you're looking for it, it's Alea Iacta Est Virtus, Virtus. We celebrated our first year anniversary this last March, and we're sitting at about 425 characters. And that's a lot of alts, of course. We're still recruiting. We're getting about, I think we have about 13 people who joined in the last week. And at any given time, we have about 10 to 15 players who are online, some that are raiding, some that are preparing for raiding, and some that just are done peopling and just want to quest on their own. Just as a reminder, folks, you can find guild officers in Discord in the LFO channel or by pinging them at officers. And you can always request a wild guild invites via the in-game system by searching for Alea Iacta Est Virtus. We do have about 20 currently approved applications that are just sitting there waiting for people to accept an invite. So you do need to return back to the J and the guild communities and accept that as part of the in-game accepting. So interesting guild achievements, guys. I looked at the stats. We hit dinner party place. We placed 1,500 feasts, most likely during raid. We did daily driver, so we completed 30,000 daily quests, and we did it all adds up. We spent 50,000 gold on member repairs. Just some fun little stats. The very interesting one that I thought you might get a kick out of is the guild statistics. Worth noting, we don't like to give a lot of hugs, so in the social category, there's about 16 hugs. We do like to cheer each other on, so 55 cheers and 9 waves. In the PvP category, total deaths from Horde players, only 19. So we don't like to go to arms with our red brothers and sisters. Character deaths, 659. Raid deaths, 323. And we have a raid team. Hell froze over. We raid on Friday nights from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. We do have some cross-realm friends. So if you do want to raid with us, you're welcome to that cross-realm. We just ask that you at least be eye level 410 and rank 1 legendary cloak. We are raiding Nyalotha, the Walking City normal. And we are recently extending the lockout so we can work on the progression bosses like Vexania and Il'gynoth. So I may have taken more than my 120 seconds max, but that's the blue team.
Just so everyone knows, I told everyone to target 2 minutes. We might go 3, but if we start going 4 or 5, this will be a 2-hour meeting. So I really squeezed them down. So thank you. Both of those couple key points in there. I just wanted to reinforce. WoW is one of those systems where we have that ability to use the in-game invite system. Fezig called it out. If you submit an application in there and we approve it, you got to go back in. We can look in there right now and we can see lists of players that submitted an application using the in-game system and we approved it, and then they're just sitting there. You got to go back in. We'll usually post in the LFO channel and say that happened, but keep an eye out for that. So that's a key tip. WoW continues to be our biggest division across AIE. It's the place where we founded many years ago at this point, and we still have thousands and thousands of characters across our WoW guilds. So it's a really exciting, important part of AIE. So thank you to Asheo and Cyrene and Tetsemi that run our retail division in particular. And one of the things that they've been working on last year and into this year was the spin up of the spin off of World of Warcraft. So now I want to get some updates from our director for World of Warcraft Classic, Nevermore. So Nevermore, what's up in Classic? I see your green light on, Nevermore, but I don't hear your voice.
Oh, almost heard you.
More green lights.
Now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yay, go.
Hello.
Frantically trying to also help me figure it out. Hi. Okay, so we in WoW Classic obviously do not have the fancy invite system. So if you want an invite, you'll have to look at LFO or grab one of the greeters or me online and we'll get you involved. We have about 850-ish characters like Alliance. There's a lot of people who have alts and stuff, play a lot of other games. So we have a lot of people who their alts are just there. And that's great because you should have one in there. If you're paying for WoW Retail, you can play WoW Classic. It's kind of included in that now. So come make a character with us. So as far as like updates and stuff, I just started because my schedule has kind of freed up lately. On Sundays, we're doing Vanilla Sunday Fun Days, which is basically like a play on like an ice cream social. Where you can just come like for an hour. Like the reason why I plan it for an hour is so that I know everybody has real life. I know everybody plays a whole bunch of games, but this way people within our community know like, hey, other than stuff that people are doing throughout the week in WoW Classic, there's at least one day where you know other people will be on. You can come hang out, work on your character, ask questions, just talk in Discord, meet other people. And if you only want to stay for the hour, great. If you want to play more and talk longer, that's great too. So that's kind of what that's about. And it's every Sunday at 2 p.m. server time. A lot of the things that are daunting in WoW Classic is the money you get, the gold you earn is kind of hard if you're starting out. And we actually still are doing the AIE Mount Program Assistance, where if you need just a few gold, you're short of the learning how to do your mount and the training that you need for it, we can assist you with that. You can talk to Lars Gagner and we'll get you all set up with like a loan of gold. And then when you're off on your mount and making more money, you can pay it back as needed. Another thing we're doing, sorry, I'm trying to hurry. Another thing we're doing is there's a raid night on Sunday nights where we raid with United Ogremar at 6:15 on server time on Sundays. They have done Molten Core and they've killed Ragnaros a few times now, and they're actually getting ready to start going into Blackwing Lair. Sorry, I lost my notes for a second. And they're actually starting that this Sunday is when they're doing Blackwing Lair. And they've been inviting, United Ogremar has been inviting our guildies to run nightly events they have during the week, as well as the main Sunday raid night, and working with Chrissy and Dead Crumpet from AIE to help people get attuned, help them with the quests they're on, like where they can keep going to get to the point of rating, because around 55 is actually when you can start working on that stuff. You don't have to be full 60, and they'll start directing you on where to go for all that. And also we have WoW Classic's release date from the new one of the anniversary is actually coming up in August, so we'll probably have something fun coming up for that. And we're on Horde side on the Pagel server.
Excellent. And that is WoW Classic. So yeah, I got in there. I poke my head in from time to time. I've got a 60 druid, just like I leveled up when WoW launched originally. Had to do it. Had to get that feel. But yeah, there's still stuff going on, and that idea of the content updates continuing to come, I think, is going to keep that vibrant there. So keep that in mind.
We were actually in Zul'Gurub tonight. We had 6 AIE people, 9 United Orgrimmar, and 3 from the Birds, who were all running together to work on that 20-man raid.
Excellent. Other games. So now we're going to expand. There's obviously a lot going on in WoW, but we've got some other divisions. We've got some smaller divisions, some bigger divisions. One division where we've got some fun going on in a little bit smaller group, but a very consistent home that we have is our Lord of the Rings fellowship, kinship. I got to remember all the name of the kind of guild in every division. So we've got a director for the founding director for our kinship in Lord of the Rings Online is Dux. Dux has done an awesome job and continues to do an awesome job keeping the kinship alive, keeping our kinship house furnished and decorated and running. We've gotten another co-director teamed up with Dux recently to help continue to drive the activity, run some events for us, and that's Mel Ung. So Mel, why don't you tell us what's going on in Lord of the Rings?
Oh, okay. We do have people that are coming to the game, which is really exciting. Are coming to the game, coming to the kinship, which is really exciting. We do run our SNL Saturday Night Lotro on Saturday nights, starting at 8 Central, because like Max, I'm also in the Central time zone, so that's the only time zone that matters, Tets.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we will not be running tomorrow night because of this whole because to keep the focus on the event happening this weekend. We are in Monster Play as well. We do have a tribe, which is their version of the guild, kinship, whatnot. We do have that. I am in and out quite a bit in there. And not to spell everything out, but on Sunday night at 7 Central, because I think Central Time, like Max does, I'll be talking about what's going on, what's upcoming with Lotro as a whole on the AIE podcast.
Yes, the AIE podcast, which we will mention again. You should definitely be listening to that if you aren't already. But a great opportunity to hear about all of our divisions, and Lord of the Rings is a great one. I am a big fan of Lord of the Rings and the monster play in particular. So I didn't really do a lot of it until our first monster event, and in the weeks leading up to it, I rolled this is the picture of my warg down here. I put that in there. I rolled a warg, which is sort of like a stealthy monster. And that was a really fun experience. The leveling system and the abilities you get are all specific to the monster creatures. That's the only sort of monster. The only way you can play PvP is to either play in a monster faction or to bring one of your regular characters, your free peoples, in and battle against the players that have rolled monster characters. That has been super fun. It's also very low barrier to entry. If you'd like to just roll one and come and run with us on a monster player night, that's a fun thing to do.
Absolutely. Which our first Monster Play event was the first time I really did a whole lot with Monster Play. And that's why I'm in and out right now because I love it, I enjoy it, and I'm in there in and out quite a bit.
Yes. Yes. It's quite fun. All right. Another bigger division of ours. A lot going on. I kind of feel bad limiting it to just a couple minutes to 2-3 minutes because there's so much. Final Fantasy, Abavan. Why don't you walk us through the highlights here?
2 or 3 minutes, man, I can take 2 or 3 hours. But to condense it down here, Final Fantasy 14 is alive and well in AIE. We are hanging out on the Goblin server, which is part of the Crystal Data Center. You just roll up a character there, and we can get you in the free company, which is what we call guilds in this game. We have, by last census on here, 185 characters rolling with us, of which say, oh, there are a bunch of alts. Well, we have or a bunch of people who don't play anymore. Well, 50 of them are in just the last 7 days alone. So there's plenty of people of various levels, of various parts of the game that can help you out at any point in time. And with the level syncing, people of high levels can help out the low levels. And the secret sauce there is the high levels actually get rewarded for helping out low level people. So if you come in and play the game with us, we get rewarded for helping you out. It's like a bribe. Events that come in, we run treasure maps every Saturday night. Thanks to that's Kelsey's child. So all the props go to him for organizing and setting that up. Treasure maps is a little event that we run, which you get a little treasure map, which gives you a little X on a little subset of a map. And you have to go find that little spot on the map, dig for treasure, fight a bunch of monsters, and then you get treasure. And if you're lucky, you get ported to a bonus zone. So for those who played a lot of Diablo 3, it's similar to that, where it's like another zone of just loot and treasure. And it's a ton of fun. It's low pressure. And we've been having great success with that. We also been having a lot of fun nights, and we also are getting into the raid scene as well. So, and there's always time to look pretty in the game as well. So we run the entire gambit of things to do in this game, and we'd love to see you.
Thank you, Abavan. And yeah, those map nights are spectacular. That's been a drive for me. One of my favorite things to do MMOs is to make currency, make gold or credits or whatever the case may be. So when I heard that, hey, here's a fun thing we're doing on Saturday nights, and we make a lot of money, we make a lot of gil off of it. It kind of sparked my interest. I'm still not level 80 on my character, so I'm not doing the end game maps. But once a month now, they're running level 70 maps, which are a little bit different map set. So it's a fun thing even for the mature players, the end game players, to go back and see some of those maps and run them. And so if you're still leveling up, you've got a chance to jump in there. You don't have to even be level 80 for some of those map nights. Fun stuff. All right, we're cooking along. We're doing well here. I really appreciate all of our division directors keeping on track here. Another let's see. It's not kinship. It's not a guild. It's not a free company. It's a fleet, right? So we have a fleet in Star Trek Online. This is another game I've been playing quite a bit of lately. Our founder director for Star Trek Online, who's been running and continuing to develop a lot of the holdings of our fleet, the Spire and the mining facility and the embassy and a bunch of other things, is Greybog. Greybog can't be here tonight, but you can find him in game quite often, and he will help coach you through getting engaged. But if you also want to engage, you can talk to Dent. So we've teamed up Dent as a co-director for Star Trek Online as well. Dent, are you out there? You want to talk a little bit about Star Trek Online?
Sure thing. So Star Trek Online, free-to-play game. Our fleet name is Alea Iacta Est classes. We are a Starfleet-aligned fleet, so any of your factions that are Starfleet aligned can join up and join the fun. Help us build out our fleet holdings, like Max was saying, the spires and the embassy and the star bases and whatnot. We run a fleet night every Sunday night, 12:30 a.m. UTC. That is 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central. So game wise, there's always a ton of events going on. This weekend is a Tholian Red Alert, so we're constantly running a space-based mission to fight off Tholians. Coming up, there's a Discovery-themed Red Angel event, and as always, towards the end of the summer, there's going to be our Riser Summer event, which is always a fan favorite.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure we will have some events on Ryza. If there's anything I've played in Star Trek, I finally about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago got my captain to the highest level. I'm building out a bunch of fleet of ships now. I've got gear. Before that, for years now, the thing I played more than anything else has been that Ryza event. So I know everything there is to know about Ryza. So if you need to know, I don't know anything about most of the rest of the game, but you need to know about Ryza, you can come talk to me. That is awesome. Let's see. Another game we have out there that's a little bit smaller and lightweight, but still continuing to have a mandatory fun night that we can talk about. Dehara runs our Guild Wars division. In Guild Wars, we have a guild. They're called guilds and Guild Wars. I guess that would make sense, right? We also have a guild house. Houses in Guild Wars are huge zones, and Dehara has been doing a great job continuing to develop that zone and guide the guild through that process. So big shout out to Dehara, who is may even be online right now, but I think his face is a little puffy from some dentistry, so we're not gonna make him have to talk tonight. I think Corley's out there though, can give us a quick rundown of Guild Wars.
All right, so yes, this is Corley. So Guild Wars, they run a MFN at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. It hasn't been attended a whole bunch lately, but hopefully this town hall and the event that's happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern with the How Do You Get Started stream that we're going to be doing. We'll get more people involved in the game. It's fun. I mean, the art in it is great. There's so many things you can do. You basically just run around the world doing things, and that's how you level up, and that's how you get gear. And then there's a personal story that you have, and we'll go over all that tomorrow. But right now in the game, they have Dragon Bash going on, which is to celebrate some victories over the Elder Dragons in the game. It's basically a celebration. Go play some games, get some rewards, and then we have a guild house. There's about 5 people online in the game right now. You can be in 5 different guilds in the game, so that kind of takes away some of the participation in our guild. But you can see people who are online in other guilds, and you can still talk to them and see if they want to do things together. Yeah, definitely. It's free to play, just like Star Wars, Star Trek. But this one, I mean, you can actually download the original game for free and not have to pay anything. You used to have to buy it, now you don't. But you can also buy both expansion packs for like $30 right now. You buy one, you get the other one free. And that unlocks a lot more stuff in the game. And there is no subscription at all in this. You can't even pay because everybody gets the same stuff. So
That's
it's
quite interesting.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to try it out, and you see pretty much the whole game. So come
that's
play the
great.
game. Yeah, you
I
might
didn't
have fun.
realize that the base game was no longer buy to play to get in anymore. So that's
Yeah.
really positive. Everybody, if you do, we've got a lot going on this weekend, and as I said, Marcus will talk about all the games. But you might want to download some of this stuff tonight if you want to get involved tomorrow or Sunday in any of the streams.
Yeah,
You know how long it takes to
definitely.
download some of these things, but free. And we're gonna do Lord of the Rings and Star Trek and Guild Wars, and so start those downloads now. One of my favorite things to do in Guild Wars is the world bosses. If you want epic world boss fights, when the guild goes after on one of our mandatory fun nights and goes after world bosses, the world bosses in Guild Wars are massive and epic and crazy and huge. So that is a really cool thing to do. So definitely check that out. No matter how big or small, I see Dehara in Discord on Monday nights in there, willing to answer questions, willing to run stuff with you. That's the mandatory fun night for Guild Wars. Check it out. Let's see, where are we at next game? I had an alternate background here. Switch over to Coruscant now because got some game here that I've heard of before, I think, but I'm not going to talk about it. Seema, are you out there? I'm not going to threaten to call Seema a co-director or anything like that, because I will get in big trouble for that. But Seema, one of our key leaders across the guild, one of our council members, also helps lead our guild in Star Wars. Seema, take it away.
Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on?
Yes, sounds great.
Oh, good. So I wanted to just lay a background for the game itself. It takes place in a time in the history of the galaxy when there's an abundance of Sith and Jedi, and the militaries of the Imperial and the Republic side are both strong. So there's a lot of bzz and a lot of pew pew and a lot of conflict. So you can get in there and really play. And there is a free to play presence, so you can play for absolutely free. Then if you subscribe for like 1 month, you get like a higher tier of free to play, which is highly recommended. And then you're sort of good to go after that. But in the guild there, we do have our MFN on Tuesday nights. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's pretty well attended. We usually have 16 people, and we do, which is the max size that we can get into in operations. We go every Tuesday night for a couple hours. Every month we have our mega event, which Mark has started, which stands for Monthly Epic Guild Activity. And we do special things on mega, like do world boss crawls or guild PvP events, something special other than the things that we do every week on MFN. We're currently running 6 operation teams. We just got a new one in the last couple of months, so we're continuing to get like a trickle of new guildies all the time. So I invite you all to come and give it a try.
Yes, I've been known to play this game. I've been known to play it quite a bit. What did I say earlier? I like to make gold in the game in our various MMOs. This is one that I like to do that on. So I'll just slip it in there because I like to do it lately. Tres Comas Club. Do you guys know what that means? Tres Comas. I'm Tres Comas Club in Star Wars. So if you want to learn how to make a lot of credits, I can help you there in Star Wars. I will stop. And hopefully, this next division, our one of our star streamers just wrapped up the first stream of our streaming weekend. Hopefully, you've recovered enough to be able to talk about our next game here. Our brilliant division leader, and as I just said, star streamer across the guild, Dan Kinia and Elder Scrolls Online.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for the awesome introduction, Max. I do appreciate it. So yeah, we kicked off the guild event for the streaming event in ESO tonight, which was a ton of fun. And that was actually part of our normal MFN. So our mandatory fun night runs every Friday night at 8 p.m. Central, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, or right now, 6 p.m. Pacific, my time. Yeah. We do things such as zone clears, where we will run through and pick up all of the sky shards while killing all of the world bosses and clearing the public dungeons. Those things give skill points, and it's always better to do that type of farming with a group. We've also done random dungeons where we will just group up into parties of 4 and queue, and then clear that dungeon, switch out our group so we're playing with different people, and do it again for the Undaunted challenges as well. And every time a new bit of content or patch comes out, we tend to do that stuff as a group. So when new dungeons come out, we will specialize, or we'll focus an MFN on doing those new dungeons the first Friday night that they're available, so that we're seeing them for the first time together. It's a lot of fun. And our guild bank is available if anyone would love to take any of that stuff for their characters. We've got tons of recipes in there. Just, have at it. And the guild house with all the crafting stations. So there are people online most nights. Sometimes just 1 or 2 people. Some nights a lot more. It just depends on the night of the week. And usually everyone's up to doing things together. They're willing to help. Just shout out if you have any questions.
Do it. Yeah, Elder Scrolls, it's a beautiful game. Great kickoff stream. Catch the replay of that stream if you aren't familiar with the game and you want to see what it's like to create a character, get some tips and tricks for starting out in ESO, or just jump in the channel and jump in with our teams in ESO. Guild Bank. This goes for all of our MMOs. We have guild banks, those kinds of resources in most of the games, and AIE, because of how awesome you all are, the modus operandi tends to be, I put things in, I give and don't take. So our guild banks are full in every single game. Get in there, take the stuff, use it. This is for everybody, especially if you're new to the game. Please go take stuff from the guild bank. We don't have to be vendoring stuff.
Officership has termed that as reverse embezzlement, for those of you who are wondering.
And just so you know, the way the guild bank in ESO works is if there's a stack of 20 recipes, you can't take just one. It doesn't let you split it. So by all means, take all 20 and put back what you don't need.
Yes, just do it. I'm a big fan of ESO with the Greymore release. I just refreshed my character. I cured my vampirism. I run a Sork there in ESO, and it's quite a good time. Dankinia, I don't see the bullet point on this list of the part where we fall off of cliffs. So I think we'll have to update that for the next presentation.
Well, I wanted that to be a surprise for the new people. The people that always play with me know that's happened, but for the new people, I wanted to save something.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, one of our major divisions that's a little bit in flux right now that I even put over here on the Nomads page because we're sort of in between. But I'll start with that, and then I'll talk about the rest of these Nomads division kind of games and what we mean by Nomads in general. But let's start with Eve, and let's spend a couple minutes there because it's in this weird flux state. Hoots is on, again, one of our council members, longtime corporation CEO of our corp in Eve. Hoots, what's up in Eve lately?
Hi everyone. It's been a while, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to hear everyone's voice. I've missed everyone. I've been kind of a little AFK, and only recently, a couple weeks ago, started secretly playing World of Warcraft again. I hear that's a video game, but Eve is a weird game, and it's in a weird state. Just to give you a recap of what we've done in the past year, we did it. We built a Titan. We built a Titan and then we gave it away. I think kind of one of our current active members has it now. Cersei, if I don't know if you're listening, I don't see you in the channel, and I don't know if you're on Twitch, but yeah, that Titan is basically Cersei's now, and maybe we'll build another one. The weird thing about Eve is you only need literally 5 active people to make such a huge impact in that game, just because it's such a really niche universe, but like very candidly, like it's not very active right now. We're not actively recruiting just because there's not a whole lot of just a lot of interest in going, like, in actually playing the game. That said, like, the geopolitical situation in EVE, and I hate to bring up geopolitics, but that's like what EVE is about. It rapidly changes, right? And I just heard that Test and Goons are at it again, or maybe at it again. That's perked my interest. And if there's like an interest from even a small group of people to spool things back up, we're pretty much at a spot in EVE right now where we can put things and the corporation on ice if we need to. Kind of my relationship with the people that we're currently in alliance with is okay, and if it's ever at a point that we need to get out of nullsec, it'll be okay. But then also, there are enough people in the EVE AIE community that if we need to spool something up again because there's interest, and if there's a group of people that want to play EVE, we can do that, and we can spool things up and kind of bring things back to where they are pretty quickly. And there are a few of us that are still playing kind of independently. And by all means, if you're interested, reach out in EVE Embassy. I'll be kind of monitoring it and we'll be watching. Again, we're not actively recruiting, but if there's suddenly a groundswell of interest, we'll kind of be there to capitalize it, and you'll see us spool things up again.
Excellent. I have been winning EVE for a while now, but I do have a pretty high end pilot there, and do get the itch every once in a while to get back in there. I am a fan of spreadsheets, so I could pull it back up and make something happen. The rest of what I'm showing up here is part of what we call nomads, and what nomads means to us is it's games that maybe we're all playing, but they're not a major division for us. We don't have like a guild facility in there or a guild house that we're maintaining. It's not a place where people are living for years necessarily, but it could turn into that, and some of these may. We've got a lot of people playing a handful of these right now. You take something like Animal Crossing. It's very big right now. So you've probably seen as we get enough traffic and enough people talking to each other in a particular division, we'll spin out extra chat channels focused on it. If it becomes a place where people look like they're going to be living for years, we could give it its own category and set up some other of our guild services around it. We do have people playing each of these games pretty significantly right now. Destiny 2 has gotten really exciting with some of the announcements for how they're going to be changing the game moving forward so that content flows more naturally and expansions are easier for everyone to sort of deal with. And smoothing out the leveling system. So I know there's been a bunch of people in there getting their engrams and they're getting their gear scores back up. Call of Duty, that's relatively new. Marcus and a team have been in Call of Duty Weekly. Definitely put a note in the channel in there in Nomads and say, hey, this is the game that I play. Diablo comes and goes by every season. Every single season. I don't know, what are we up to? 20 plus seasons right now? Every single season as that spins up. What's that? How many?
22 is the new one.
22. 22 seasons. Every season we have people that get in there and play the season all the way through. So that's that opportunity to reset, play up the new character, get the new rewards and achievements for playing through the season. We have people in the current season, in season 22, that are still plowing through it. Division 2, that's a key one. In fact, I think we're going to have a stream about that this weekend. We had a big bunch of people in there. I think there's still people in there on a regular basis every night. Fallout 76, we're going to have another division of people or a stream about that this weekend. Any of these kinds of games that you're playing, put a shout out there in that Nomads channel. If we can sort of collect people up or excite people or create a division out of it, we're happy to do that. And that's sort of what the purpose of Nomads is. We don't want to instantly create a channel for every game in Steam. That would be quite a few channels. So, but we want to support any game that people are playing. So as we get the traffic, as people are talking about it, what I want to sort of see is a preponderance of discussion in that Nomads channel. Just fill it up with the talk, and organically we'll start pulling things out of there, and it'll get bigger and bigger and grow from there. So think about Nomads that way. Another way you can think about Nomads is as a place for thinking about what's next. There's some interesting things coming out. I took it off of this slide because Shadowlands doesn't really count as like a Nomads what's next, but there's expansions in there and all of our major divisions that we're all looking towards, and there's going to be big things going on in our major divisions around those. But there's potentially new games that AIE is going to be in at launch, and we've got potentially people. Take New World, for example, that's going to have a beta starting up in about 4 weeks. We already did a little informal survey. There's going to be at least a half a dozen AIE people in there for the beta checking that out. Dual Universe. We've got a couple people who are bought into the alpha for Dual Universe and checking it out and can answer questions. I have a feeling Star Wars Squadrons might be interesting, at least at launch, if it lives up to the promise. We've got a couple people around here that like Star Wars, and where's my VR helmet? Being able to put that on and fly around with a squadron of my squad mates and shoot them things. That sounds really fun. But other things out there, I keep hearing people saying, I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm still in Star Citizen, and it's going to launch any day now, which I totally believe it will. All those kind of games, keep that discussion going. Let's keep an eye on what's coming next, and let's prepare for it. I threw up here Eve Echoes. I'm really curious to see. That's the mobile version of Eve. It's almost everything that you can do in the desktop version of Eve shoved into a mobile interface. It's not like it's dumbed down for mobile. It's like everything is there. I don't know why they didn't just make it the full game, or just maybe they kind of did. I think that one's going to be interesting. I already see people saying, "Oh, I'm definitely going to be doing Eve Echoes." So keep track, keep putting the notes in Nomads for the things that you're interested in, and we'll build on that. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting summer and fall as new games continue to get released. Okay, we are cooking along here. We're doing okay on time. We're going to go over a little bit, but we're doing okay. I do want to talk about events. As I said, events are important to AIE. Events have been a bedrock of the guild. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do very many in-person events. In fact, some of the big in-person events that we count on from year to year, like BlizzCon, Star Wars Celebration, they're all getting canceled for this calendar year for obvious reasons. We're continuing to think hard about that and what we might do in place of some of those. And one of the ideas that spun up is the stuff that's going on this weekend. So Marcus, if you are out there, you want to talk a little bit about the genesis of what you and Fezgig put together for this streaming event this weekend?
Sure. So we were in the officer meeting that we do once a month. And with all of this that's going on in the world, I said, well, we should bring almost like a con to the guild and show off all the games that we play, because so many of us are just home. And you may be, I always say, I don't know what the word is, not afraid, but, nervous about trying a different game. So we said, well, why don't we just play all of the games, stream every one of them, whether it's via Discord or Twitch. And what we did was we came up with a schedule of games, and every division is going to do almost like the opening area, character creation, the starting zone. We're going to teach you the basic navigation. We're going to give you tips for beginners, like tonight in ESO, Dan Kinnean showed us how to get the auto loot turned on so that you're not clicking on every individual piece of inventory, and then how to get in the guild and just kind of getting you the game experiences that you need. And every division, major division, is going to be represented. So tonight we started off with ESO. We're finishing the night with the town hall. Tomorrow we start from 4 p.m. in 2-hour blocks Eastern, and we're going to be doing World of Warcraft, the Alliance side, which I always hear is the right side. Then we're going to move right into the Guild Wars 2, which is from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we're going to be going to Star Wars The Old Republic with me, and we're going to all be creating the Marauder class, and we're going to have 2 lightsabers and run around. That's from 8 to 10 p.m. Then to finish out the night from 10 p.m. till midnight, we're going to be doing the Division 2 with Duras. And then on Sunday, we're going to be going 2 to 4 p.m. on WoW on the Horde side with Cyrene. Then from 4 to 6, we're going to be doing Lord of the Rings Online with Mal. Then 6 to 8, Final Fantasy 14. And wrapping up the whole event, we're going to engage from 8 to 10 p.m. into Star Trek Online. And even if you don't want to play, you can always check out the Twitch stream and watch it. So then you can do it. The only game in the list that you have to purchase was ESO or the Division 2. But other than that, every other game will cost you hard drive space. So come check it out. And thanks to Fezgig, because him and I worked hard on this to get this thing going. And thank you to all the division leaders, because without you guys hosting your own games, we couldn't have made this happen.
Thank you, Marcus, and thank you, Fezgig. This is something that both Marcus and Fezgig together, they got together. They thought this would be a cool, interesting thing to do, and the kickoff was spectacular. As I said, an hour and a half ago. As much as we can, we're going to take the videos from these events and try to get them posted to our Guild YouTube channel, which is kind of in beta. We don't have a lot out there, but we try to get some videos up there once in a while. But just to get the feeling of what's going on, get in there live and see what it's like to create the game, get some questions answered, ask anything you'd like, and see what AIE does in those places. So it's a really fun thing to do.
And Max, one addendum. Saturday from 12 midnight to 2 a.m. Eastern, Mew is doing Fallout 76.
Whoa!
I'm so sorry, Mew. And in fact, I had that on my list. I must have cut that off, or maybe it got copied in late. Yeah. So thank you, Mew. It's gonna be a late night stream, but up all night. AIE. That's how we roll. So check that out too. Fallout 76. That's going to be awesome. Other events. One key event that everyone should have on their radar, and we're just gonna tease it right now. But at the end of July, beginning of August, last week in July, first week in August, every summer for many years now, we've had what we call the AIE Summer of Love, and that happens across all of our divisions. We'll do a week of major guild events. So if you imagine the kind of cool guild events that we have, sort of once a month in various games, this is a week where every night there's something going on in a division or two to sort of celebrate the summer, get everybody together, and have fun in all of those games. You can see pictures here from last year. Final Fantasy. We got naked people in Final Fantasy. We had naked people in Star Trek Online. Also, there's beach events in all of those. AIE in WoW has multiple events that week. The Kirin Tor Tavern Crawl is certainly a highlight. Guild Wars, Star Trek, Star Wars, WoW Alliance side was one of our first events in Summer of Love last year. So a lot of that goes on. One of the key reasons we do it around that time, end of July, beginning of August, is it's all centered around one of the most important days of the year for AIE. And again, as a quick preview, Lantheris, I don't know if you're out there, but if you want to talk about Remembrance Day and just the update, the reminder for anyone on what that is and when that's coming up on August 2nd.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So hi everyone, I'm Link Theris. So as many of you might know, back in the deep history of the guild, we had a member many years ago when we first started by the name of Milliway, and he meant an awful lot for us in the guild, particularly in the WoW days. And kind of what he brought forth, and kind of the attitude and kind of the experience that kind of created amongst himself is kind of what's become what we've oftentimes referred to jokingly as the AIE kind of way, about the helping each other out, looking out for each other, and generally having fun. Unfortunately, he did pass away due to a heart condition. But ever since that day, we've gone out of our way to kind of remember not only Milliway, but other members who've kind of come and gone in our guild who for various reasons. Ralph's a great example. If you remember Ralph, Vandeclaw early on, also known as the Panda Guy. And so we take it as a day to kind of get into games, kind of talk, share stories, and talk about our loved ones, whether in game or out, that have come and gone. And it's a great way to kind of create some cohesion, talk about the good times, and remember that. And it's not an event of mourning, but an event of celebration. And the fact that look at the great people that we've had here that unfortunately have been taken from us, and just taking a time to kind of sit back, remembering them, talking to them, and kind of using it as kind of the bedrock of what AIE means to all of us.
Thank you, Link Theris. It's the couple of the pictures here in the upper right. There will certainly be in-game opportunities to listen in as we talk a little bit about Remembrance Day for that event live. We have a little bit of a moment in each of our divisions that you can potentially be part of in multiples of our games, and be part of some traditions, some real strong traditions in AIE, in one of those most important days of the year for us all, both for the people that have been part of us in AIE, and then it also gives us an opportunity to think about everyone else in our lives that falls into that category of celebration of those friendships and thoughts of the people that are no longer with us. So please think about that, and then we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna wrap the rest of the summer party and fun events around that, and that makes up our Summer of Love event. And then, so no notes on this just yet, but as we said, we're thinking about all those cons that are getting canceled. There's no BlizzCon, there's no Star Wars Celebration. We've got a couple officers that are off on the side to be, in dark and smoky rooms, that are thinking about what would it be like if there was like a virtual con? What might that look like? If you all have any ideas on that and how that might manifest in the fall, and you want to sort of throw some hints and tips in a couple directions, you might see some things develop over the course of the summer, and you might see some news as we get closer to fall on some things we're thinking about there. It's just a real high-end teaser there. Okay, couple mechanical things to sort of finish off the night. I did want to remind people of all the guild services we have available. Discord, and I'll talk in detail about Discord in just a sec, but AIE-guild.org, important place for you to get the major news items. So this is where we're going to be publishing like the news articles that need a little bit more detail associated with them. And then we'll refer to those in other places. We'll link them on Twitter and we'll put them into Discord. But that's where we publish a lot of the guild news, a lot of the links that you need. If you're talking to anyone and they want to know, how do I get connected to AIE? AIE-guild.org, big Discord link in the upper right these days. They can click on that. They can go right into our guild Discord. They can see information about the divisions. They can see some news. Great resource. Also linked off of there is our guild calendar. Our guild calendar is up to date with most of the MFNs, most of the major, some of the major events that we have in each of the divisions regularly. I think we were a little bit, in fact, we should get it updated real quick here. I think we were a little delinquent in getting our streaming events this weekend put on there, but we'll get that fixed up. Twitter, the hashtag to keep an eye on there. I mean, just keep an eye on AIE AI Guild, but hashtag AIE Guild is something that a lot of us tag our posts on. If you want to create a special channel where you're watching that, you'll get everything that we're sort of seeing go by on Twitter. I'd love to see your stuff on there too. Use that hashtag, and I'll keep an eye out for it. Our podcasts, our AIE podcast is once every 2 weeks. It's fortnightly. Tetsemi and Makala and Mewcow do an awesome job of continually getting leaders from each of our divisions and sometimes some other fun stuff on there once every 2 weeks to talk about the regular news, and then a little bit of a drill down into something interesting in a particular division, or in a particular game, or in a particular side topic. A lot of it is, and I think one of the key ones coming up, is it Sunday, Tetsemi, is the next one, with Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, it'll be Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're doing Lord of the Rings with Mei Lung.
Excellent. So you can catch it in Discord. It's live on Twitch. It's hosted on AIE-guild.org. There's a link there for both the recorded podcasts and the live podcasts. I highly recommend putting that into the rotation of things you check out once every 2 weeks. We have a couple other podcasts for the Guild. And if you have any regular AIE associated podcasts, we want to hear about those. Working Class Nerds is a podcast that talks about AIE community stuff in general, a lot of our Star Wars stuff in particular. Marcus, one of our officers, as you already heard, who's running the streaming event this weekend. He runs the Working Class Nerds podcast. You can look that up and get a link to that and put that on your podcast feed. A great one to hear about AIE stuff going on. And then there's this other podcast I heard about, the Swtor Escape podcast. It's an AIE podcast. It talks all about Star Wars: The Old Republic. I think Seema runs that podcast too. Thank you, Seema.
Never heard of it.
As I said, we've got YouTube. We're starting to put a couple, we put only a few things out there every few months on YouTube, but it's a home for any of the videos that we want to get posted. If you look out there now, YouTube, you got to look up AIE Guild on YouTube. We don't own the channel name just yet. I think we have to get a few more people subscribed. So maybe do that here. Ring that bell, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We'll be putting things like, in fact, if you go out there, all of the Summer of Love stuff from last year is up there. We're going to put the streaming event this week up there. I'm sure we'll put more of the videos from Summer of Love this summer up there as well. And then streaming. Our star streamer is Dan Kinia, but we've got a growing group of streamers that are AIE focused streamers. I've got a bunch of their names down here, but the Content Creators channel in Discord is a place for any of you out there that are streaming AIE stuff or just streaming your own stuff. We want to see everything in the Content Creators, but especially if it's AIE stuff, let us know. Let us know just as a community, as officers, that, hey, here's an AIE thing that I stream often, because we'll also then host you on AIE Guild, the AIE Guild channel. So bunch of awesome streamers down here. Abavan streams a bunch of Final Fantasy and some other stuff. Corley streams pretty often. Gajora is doing some pretty interesting streaming of some of the things going on in WoW. Marcus has started to stream quite a bit, not only Star Wars, but some other games. I think maybe even some of the Call of Duty stuff. That Max guy, I don't know, he streams some stuff. The New Overlords channel I just have up there because that's where the Swtor Escape podcast is. Cyrene, I think just got her streaming rig wired back up tonight, and we'll be streaming this weekend. And Duris streams quite a bit. A lot of the Nomad stuff. You can catch Duris streaming a bunch of that. So keep an eye out for that stuff. That's good. I want to double down for just a second on Discord. If we're going to pick one tool that's the most important for us right now in the Guild for communication, for us all coming together as a community, it's Discord. Discord's become that tool for us. If you've seen in the last few weeks, we've done a reorganization of the channels into major categories. We've wrapped a little bit more of an organization around that we think can both scale a little bit and provide some flex as we need. So keep an eye on that. There's also a couple key features inside of Discord that you should remember and check in on every once in a while. Anyone new to our server should have a view into the welcome channel. There's going to be some key information there in the welcome channel about some of these channels in here that are useful to you and news you can use. Our community and social segment, our category there for community and social. It's got a couple open channels in here. If you just need a channel, not specific to a particular game, you want to group some people up, and you want to talk for a bit, you want to just hang out and chat with people in the community. That's what those two channels are made for. So jump in those voice channels anytime. Also in there, you can find a lot of key channels like our events channel, where this event got posted in the preview for that event. The general chat, anything you want to talk about across the community, throw it in general. Picks or It Didn't Happen, a great place to just get a quick view of some fun things going on cross divisions. Looking for Officer, any of the games right now, if you need an invite, that is a place where you can go and ask about it. Even if you've put an application in game in WoW, for example, jump in LFO and say, hey, I put my application in, no rush, but if there's an officer that happens to be around to approve it, let me know. A lot of us officers are just watching Discord all day, and we've got nothing better to do. we're just in there quite a bit, and we can help out. So ask us in LFO. We would love to jump in any of the divisions and get you what you need. We say raid team news and raid team recruitment. That's really across all of our divisions. So maybe it's a raid team, maybe it's a fleet team, maybe it's an operations team. All of those, there's news in there, so you can just sort of see what the subgroups across our divisions are doing. And if you're a free agent and you want to go run you want to get into a Final Fantasy group content, put a note in there. Say, hey, I've got a character. If you guys have a group, let me know. I'd like to join a weekly group. And then a really fun, inspiring channel is our health and fitness channel. So check that out as well. Each of our major divisions has a category for it. Make sure you're keeping an eye on all of those. Those divisions now have voice channels associated with them. You might see some fun rotation of names in those voice channels. That's a fun thing that's going on. Those voice channels are open for use in those divisions. Jump in there, make use of them. If there's a group that's using one of them, check in, listen in. We run our Star Wars operations team in the public Discord, for example. But we welcome anyone to come in there and listen in. We might be, talking boss strat, and Seema might be yelling at us for standing in the fire. but feel free to jump in there and listen in and ask questions. We like that too. As I said and mentioned, our Nomads channel, that's got, and we continue to let it flex and grow channels as needed for some of the Nomads games that are getting bigger and bigger, even throwing voice channels out there specific to them. If you're in there and you need to talk about Destiny because you're trying to run some group content and you just want to sit in there all night because you happen to be in there and you're looking for other people to come in and talk with you, check it out. Finally, the thing all the way on the right there, the notification system. This is a great opportunity for everyone right now. If you go to that welcome channel, you look at the notification system post in there. This is a bot that runs behind the scenes. If you click any of the little voting buttons down here because you're interested in WoW news and Final Fantasy news and Star Trek news, if you click those voting buttons and add your name into there, anyone in the guild that does an at AIE-STO or at AIE-WoW will ping anyone who has clicked that button and accepted that role for themselves. So it's a notification system specific to the divisions then. It gives us a little bit of that opportunity to do some pings without opening up, which we haven't done, opening up to everyone in the hundreds of people that are in our Discord, having to do like an at everyone because you're trying to say, hey, we got a Final Fantasy map night starting up. So notification system is a really cool feature, one of those newer things, and we'll have more and more of those kinds of things over time here in Discord. Check it out, make use of it. All right, we've gone about 15 minutes long, although we started about 5 minutes late, so I'm going to call it 10 minutes. 10 minutes long. I knew we would go a little bit long. I do want to open it up to some questions now. I know not everybody can be live here in voice because we've got this limit of 25 because the stream is going on. I'm going to have to figure out how we get around that in the future. I've seen some questions going on, so I'm going to answer one right now. But any other questions you have for Q&A, put them there in that town hall channel. If you happen to be in voice, I'll call on you to talk to you as well. Let me scroll up here. There was a good question up here earlier from Skullshot.
Yeah, so Max, that question was basically WoW expansion. How are we going to handle, are we going to ramp up the number of officers to be able to handle the guild chat, watching the guild chat and do invites? Thankfully, with the guild finder, we'll probably have at least 2, maybe 3 active guilds in the guild finder. We're still going through that discussion. Just to handle, returning people that need to get into the guild. So guild invites should be, fairly smooth to get everyone in and playing together for the expansion. And then as with everything, we're in a WoW lull right now, even though there's a lot of activity. Once the expansion hits, we'll have a lot of people engaged in the game, a lot of officers in there. So I don't think it should be an issue with, needing more WoW officers in. But you do bring up a good point. If there are issues that you're seeing and there aren't officers online, feel free to drop a DM to, myself, Cyrene, Ashayo, and we can look into whatever's going on. So we're always there for you. Just let us know.
Yeah, my comment there and just in my head was we've got a lot of experience in AIE with WoW expansions over the years. So definitely you can feel confident that it will be covered. One of the fun things about us as an AIE officer community is that no one, when we need to bring someone on to do a job, they are an AIE officer. They're not just a WoW officer. So one of the opportunities that we have for something like WoW is for the WoW officer team to just tell the rest of the officer community, hey, we've got a big expansion coming up. Anyone else, all hands on deck, come and help. And I'll be in there, and Seema's in there all the time. And we got a bunch of people that are also active in WoW, but maybe not an everyday WoW officer, but we can have some of that flex. So we'll have you covered. So that is a good concept across any of our divisions. You can feel confident that we will flex. Our officers are a fluid, and they will expand to fill the space as those spaces get created. All right. Let me look in here. Did anyone see any other questions, or anyone that is in voice want to pipe up and ask a question?
Liam just asked in the Q&A or in the town hall, how do we get to the notification screen? In Discord, it's in the welcome channel.
Yes. So very top channel. Scroll down to the bottom, the most recent post in there, and you can click on those roles down there and click into what you're interested in.
And the icon, when you click on it, will change color from the like I run mine in dark mode, so the dark gray to a highlighted color that lets you know as you have picked that icon.
And if you click it again, you can click it off, so you can turn them on and off as you want to for yourself there. We don't overuse those. We're all of the divisions and everyone's pretty good about those. So so feel free to turn them all on and see what it's like. Turn the ones off that you're not engaged in, and if it gets too much, you can back it back out and just keep an eye on the channel as needed. But it's a really good system for us just to get a little bit more of a notification tool set available to us. All right. More questions. In Q&A time, I always pause. It's just awkward enough that when somebody wanted to ask a question, but they weren't sure if they should, that they put it out there. So we've got a lot of divisions. A lot of things
Dejara
coming
wants to know, sometimes you stand in the lasers?
always stand in the lasers. What were we doing? Was it Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night at our mandatory fun night in Star Wars. We went into we tend to show people off all of the things that we either stand in or we try to get other guildies to stand in quite a bit. And we all did stand in the big giant laser in the fortress that we were raiding there with the Dreadmasters on Tuesday night. Abavan has a question. How you doing? How you doing? There. That's my answer, Abavan. That's a good one. Okay. All right. We don't need to push it too much here. As I said, the LFO channel. We'll keep this town hall channel open for a little while as people either watch the stream recording and come up with more questions. If you have a question that you don't want to throw it out there to the entire community, pick any of the officers or any of the council members. If you want to DM us with a private question, we would certainly be happy to answer those as well. So as we're wrapping up, I will keep an eye out there for other questions. Let me go back here to our streaming event for the weekend. And leave you with this schedule. Remind you, I didn't put the Muse 12 to 2 Eastern time. Fallout 76 on Saturday, but that's going to be in here as well. But here's our streaming schedule for the weekend. This is the big event that we've got going on right now. I had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people both watching and participating with Dankinia in the stream that kicked off the night tonight at 9 Eastern. Boy, these Eastern times are killing me. At 4 to 6, which is sometime tomorrow afternoon my time. Tomorrow we'll have WoW Alliance, then Guild Wars and Swtor and Division 2 and Fallout 76 all tomorrow. And then on Sunday we'll have WoW Horde with Cyrene and Lotro and Final Fantasy and STO. A lot of us will be in and out of a lot of these, so please poke your head in, ask a bunch of questions, engage, get any of your friends that are either AIE curious or game curious, give them the link and have them jump in. We would love to put on a show and get them a view of how they can come and have fun with us.
And one last thing is Fezgig reminded in the Discord that we're talking about doing a movie night for everybody. We'll all play a movie and everybody can hang out and watch a movie and eat popcorn and make fun of the movie.
And
so
if
watch
any
for
of
that.
you have other event ideas like that, any fun of those kinds of things, a lot of us are still sort of very virtual and remote. We can be remote together, so we can do that. Let me also close by saying thank you. Certainly thank you to everyone in AIE. This is a enormously important part of a lot of our social lives, a lot of our personal lives, because it's just a really fun opportunity for us to, as I said, be remote together, to get together in physical ways when we can, to have a bunch of friends that we can play with weekly, whether or not we can be around face to face. All of you in AIE make this a really cool place. All of the officer leadership is here because we love this place and you make it cool and fun for us. I also want to thank all of my officers, all of my peers in this officer community. They put a ton of work in every day to make this enormous community of ours run. I'm always impressed by, if anything needs to be done, how many people step up and continue to make this a great place. So thank you, AIE. Thank you, AIE officers. And thank you, everyone who's listening and curious about our community and listening to the stream. Come join us. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. And with that, I will close out the stream. I will hit stop on the recording. And everybody can take a deep breath and see what else we got going on for the rest of the night.